From the moment we're toddlers, the word dinosaur captures our imagination. We see the towering skeletons in museums, the ferocious jaws of a T-Rex on a movie screen, the gentle long neck of a brachiosaurus in a book. We love them because they are the ultimate symbol of the ancient and the untamable. We look at them from the safety of our world, a world where they are just fossils, a memory of a time long past. But what if they never went extinct? What if that asteroid never hit the Earth? What if they survived, thrived, and evolved alongside us, right into the present day? This isn't a story about a fantastical park where we can look at them from a jeep. This is a story about a very different timeline, a timeline where humanity is not at the top of the food chain. This is a story about a world where dinosaurs are not our pets or our playthings, but our greatest rival. In this reality, the very concept of a timeline shifts. Our history isn't one of uninhibited growth, but of a constant, brutal fight for survival against a world that belongs to them. The prehistoric present. A world reshaped by giants. In a world where dinosaurs never went extinct, our modern civilization as we know it would not exist. There would be no sprawling suburbs, no open highways, no serene national parks for a leisurely hike. The human experience would be fundamentally defined by one word: defense. Our cities would be massive, fortified strongholds, walled in by towering concrete barriers, some 100 feet high, topped with electric fences and armed sentry posts. The skyline would be a mix of our familiar high-rises and immense monolithic structures designed to withstand attacks. Every major urban center would be a self-contained island of human life in a vast, dangerous world. Getting from one city to another would be a massive undertaking. The concept of a casual road trip would be insane. Highways, if they existed at all, would be crumbling relics of a failed past, or perhaps a daring, heavily guarded route for armored convoys. Travel would primarily happen through the sky, in massive armored airships or deep underground, in high-speed magnetic trains that link the major population centers. The world would be divided into two zones: the safe, overcrowded urban fortresses, and the wild, untamed, dinosaur-infested territory between them. The soundscape of our world would be entirely different. There would be no quiet country nights filled with crickets. The air would constantly be filled with the distant guttural roars of predators. There would be a perpetual low hum of vigilance, the automated defense systems, the warning sirens, the patrols. Every sunrise would be a reminder that you're just one wrong move away from being at the bottom of the food chain. And at the heart of our survival would be a complete overhaul of agriculture. In our world, we farm with tractors. In this world, farming is a military operation. Crops would be grown in massive enclosed farms protected by high walls and armed guards. There would be specialized units dedicated to protecting fields from hungry herbivores like Triceratops or Ankylosaurus, which could wipe out a season's harvest in minutes. The risk of famine would be a constant, terrifying shadow. Humanity's survival strategy, the new rules. In this timeline, humanity's greatest asset is not our strength, but our intelligence. We would be a species that had to fight for every inch of land and every resource we ever gained. The rules of society would reflect this. The top of the food chain would be occupied by creatures like Tyrannosaurus rex, which would be feared as apex predators. But they would not be the only threat. A pack of velociraptors would be a far more sinister and intelligent danger, and the sheer destructive power of a stegosaurus could level a small building. To combat this, our military would not be geared towards fighting other humans. It would be a specialized force dedicated to managing the dinosaur threat. They would use advanced technology, drones with powerful tranquilizer darts, sonic weapons that disorient large animals, and heavy-duty armor to protect their ground units. The most elite soldiers would be the Dino Hunters, a new kind of special forces unit revered for their bravery and skill. Society itself would be transformed. Gone are the days of leisurely white-collar jobs. The most respected people would be those with practical, survival-based skills. Engineers who could build better defenses, farmers who could increase yields, and soldiers who could protect the walls. The economy would be based on resource management and defense, not on consumer goods or abstract financial markets. A shared threat would have to unite us. But humans are still humans, and even in this world, there would be opportunities for new and dangerous interactions. We could imagine the rise of a new breed of tamers, people who learn to understand and even communicate with certain dinosaur species. Perhaps there would be a symbiotic relationship with a smaller species of herbivore, using them as living tools or beasts of burden in a world where machines are too vulnerable. But for the most part, the relationship between human and dinosaur would be one of constant mutual fear and a fight for the same limited space. The broader global impact, a planet under a different sun. The extinction of the dinosaurs allowed for the rise of mammals. But in this timeline, the age of mammals never truly began. Many of the animals we know today, lions, tigers, elephants, would either be extinct or confined to tiny, isolated pockets of the world, unable to compete with the dominant species. The global environment itself would be different. The sheer size and constant movement of giant herbivores would reshape the landscape, creating vast grasslands and devouring forests. The planet's climate could be affected by the sheer amount of waste and carbon dioxide produced by these creatures. The world would be a more dangerous and in some ways more primal place. And what about us? What kind of humans would we have become? A constant state of fear and danger would have a profound effect on our psychology. Would we be a more united species forced to cooperate against a common enemy? Or would the constant stress and paranoia make us more aggressive, more ruthless, and even more tribal? Our humanity would be constantly tested. This timeline may seem like a fantasy, but it shows us just how balanced our world truly is. If you want to keep exploring the what-ifs and see how our world could be different, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Timeline Shift, and get ready for our next adventure.